I think I bit off more than I could chew with this one.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So this week I decided to make chocolate Swiss cake rolls, but they didn't really turn out that way. They kind of turned it out like chocolate Twinkies. But I'm just going to go through my attempts and what I learned from each of those. So here we go, first attempt. Like you guys saw on the video on Saturday, I'm just taking those egg yolks and sugar and beating those up until light and fluffy. So this was my first attempt at making the chocolate cake. When developing this recipe, I read that one method of making chocolate cake is to mix the cocoa powder with boiling hot water to make almost a paste, and this releases a deeper, darker chocolate flavor. So I did this for my first attempt, and I tried the cake and it was a little bit too intense of a chocolate flavor for my liking. It tasted more on the end of dark chocolate, and that's not really my preference. If you guys like that, go with this method, but I personally was not a fan. You guys already saw how I made the cream filling, so you know what? Let's just skip ahead. So here I'm going to show you guys what happens when you are making a cake roll and you don't roll it up without any filling in it first and let it cool that way. Against my better judgment, I decided to do it this way because I saw it done from someone else this way, so I decided to try it. This is still the cake from my first attempt, so it really kind of wasn't that big of a loss because I really didn't like this cake anyway. But this attempt was messed up on so many different levels. Here I'm going to try to cut the cake into 2 different layers because it was too thick. I really want thin layers, and I do not know how to do this. I know all of you out there who do know how to do this, you're probably cringing right now. Do not take any instruction from me on this. I do not know what I'm doing, as you will see. So here we go. Now with my mangled piece of cake, I'm going to cut this layer into 4 squares to get 4 cake rolls out of this. So here we go. Now I'm going to show you why this does not work. Now just to remind you, this cake was cooled in the pan. It didn't get rolled up while it was still hot to create any memory, and now I'm going to show you why that's a problem. Now I'm going to try to roll the cake up with the filling. You're going to see it cracking and just kind of falling apart and not really creating a roll, which I guess is not horrible because we're going to freeze this and then cover it in ganache, so you're really not going to see the cracks, but still, it really encourages this to fall apart and not look very good. Okay, so here we go. Day 2, regroup, new game plan. So I am gonna speed through this recipe because this is the recipe that worked out, and it is detailed in the recipe that I posted on Saturday, so you can go check out that video. So now for this cake, I took it out when it was warm and added some confectioner sugar to the top so it wouldn't stick, and rolled it up. Just let it cool that way. Gotta make more filling. Now I'm just gonna gently unroll the cake now that it's cool. And I'm going to cut it into my 4 squares. You can even do more squares if you would like. These ended up bigger than a Swiss cake roll would be. And so if you cut the cake a little bit smaller, they wouldn't be as big. And I made the cake layer a little bit thinner this time, so that would eliminate the need for any cutting of the cake into layers. I do have a cake leveler, I just don't know where it is. And you guys saw how I did it manually. It does not go well, so I prefer to avoid that step altogether. You can see when I roll this one up, it goes a lot better. No cracking. And also a good tip is to use the parchment paper to your advantage to help you roll. And I'm also going to speed through this part because I didn't do a second attempt for this part. And you can see all of this in my video on Saturday if you want to check that out. And that is about it. If you guys want to see the finished product of this video, you can head on over to my video on Saturday, and I will leave links in the description as well as in the cards if you want to check that out. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, leave me a like down below and let me know. This was just kind of a trial kind of thing. I know that I like seeing start to finish how people make recipes and why they made certain choices and why they left certain things out. If that does interest you and this was an interesting video, let me know. Anyways, if you guys want to follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat, those links are also down below. And the written instructions and ingredients for this recipe are also in a link down below to my blog if you want to check that out as well. Subscribe to make more messes with me, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!